Inside the quarantine zone, people walked around naked, even stripping off their clothes to enjoy a shower in the heavy rain on the street. They weren't afraid of being seen because a new virus had broken out worldwide, and everyone had gone blind. At this point, people could only rely on their sense of smell to find food. Although there was one person who was immune and not infected, what he saw was another side of humanity. The story begins with a man. A Japanese man named Nichikawa suddenly slammed on the brakes and stopped. Amid constant urging, someone came to the front of the car to ask what was going on. Curly, with good intentions, offered to take Nichikawa home, but as soon as Nichikawa got out of the car, Curly drove off, leaving Nichikawa alone on the street. Not long after, Curly came back. He falsely claimed he had gone to park the car and said he would take Nichikawa home. To confirm whether Nichikawa was truly blind, Curly kept gesturing in front of him. After confirming that Nichikawa's wife was not home, Curly started wandering around the house. Nichikawa was well aware of his intentions and hurriedly sent him out of the house. In the evening, Nichikawa's wife took him to the hospital. After a series of tests, nothing was found, and everything was physiologically normal. The doctor had never seen such a case and suggested they go to another hospital for further examination. Meanwhile, Curly, who was stealing a car, saw a traffic cop on the roadside. Feeling guilty, he drove the car into an alley. After parking the car, he suddenly realized he had also gone blind. While having dinner, the doctor told his wife Mary about the strange case he encountered during the day. Typically, blind people see black, but this physiologically normal man saw everything as white. The next day, after the doctor got up, he found he couldn't see anything either. It seemed the disease was highly contagious. In a panic, the doctor pushed his wife Mary away, and once they calmed down, they called the hospital. By this time, more and more people were going blind. The situation alarmed the health department, and they planned to quarantine all the patients. Just as the doctor was being taken away, Mary climbed into the car with him. To better care for her husband, she falsely claimed she was also blind. The so-called quarantine zone was nothing more than an abandoned mental hospital. To stay there, Mary planned to hide the fact that she could see. Meanwhile, more people were being brought in, including the car thief Wanmao and the first infected person Nishwan. During their conversation, Nishwan and Wanmao recognized each other by voice. Wanmao complained that it was Nishwan who passed the infection to him. Nishwan angrily retorted, "You actually stole a blind person's car," and the two started fighting. The doctor came to separate them and told everyone to go to the bathroom. He falsely claimed he came early and was already familiar with the place. On the way, Wanmao's hands were restless, and a woman kicked his leg with a high heel, causing his leg to bleed profusely. There were no medical supplies here at all. Mary used clothes to make a simple bandage for Wanmao. The next day, more infected people were brought in. Nishwan heard his wife's voice. After searching, the two embraced each other. Mary and the doctor caught up with two soldiers, hoping they could provide basic medical supplies. Because Wanmao's leg was already infected, unexpectedly, the soldiers not only refused but also pointed guns at them, forcing them to go back immediately or they would shoot. Mary had to quickly leave with the doctor. She wanted to use the emergency phone to call for help but found that the phone was just a decoration and couldn't connect to the outside world. Mary did her best to take care of everyone and maintain order here. As more and more people were sent to the quarantine area, the environment became extremely poor, and people even started walking around naked, thinking that everyone couldn't see each other anyway. That day, Mary found an old man with one eye hiding in the bathroom. He was using a radio to listen to outside information. It turned out he couldn't find where the bed was. Mary took him to the room. The old man told everyone the information he heard, that more and more people were getting infected, and the whole world was discussing what to do, but there was no progress. As the number of blind people increased, traffic accidents happened one after another. Everyone decided not to leave their homes anymore. Eventually, even the Minister of Health helplessly announced that he was also blind. At night, another large group of people was brought here. A man, unable to see the crowd, strayed from the group and was directly shot by the guards. The gunshot terrified everyone. Then a serious stampede occurred, leaving several more bodies on the ground. The guards threw out a shovel, allowing only one person to come out and take it. Mary stepped forward and pretended to be busy following the voice prompts to get the shovel. Turning around, she gave the guard an international gesture. They thought Mary was adapting to the new environment and didn't think much of it. As the number of people increased, the place was divided into 3 wards. The doctor hoped one ward would be responsible for burying a person, but this was opposed by the bearded man from Ward 3. Curly's leg injury worsened, and when he tried to go out for help, he was shot in the head. The next day, they dug a pit to bury the bodies, including Curly. Mary was on the verge of breaking down. She could see everything but couldn't do anything about it. That day, the bearded man suddenly started a riot. He declared he would rule the entire quarantine area, and all the food would be distributed by them. If you wanted food, you had to bring something valuable to exchange. Because he had a gun, no one dared to resist. Seeing the hot-tempered big tiger, Mary quickly left with her husband. After returning, Mary took the lead in collecting everyone's valuables, watches, jewelry, necklaces, and rings. Everyone brought out their valuables, but the same value of items exchanged for less and less food each day. There was a blind man in Ward 3 who thrived in this situation, even helping the bearded man manage finances. Faced with the dwindling food supply, the doctor wanted to reason with him but was threatened with a gun and forced to say thank you. The doctor, full of anger, took it out on his wife. Mary walked away angrily. A long-haired woman came to comfort the doctor, and after a concerned conversation, something inappropriate happened between them. Mary happened to witness this scene. Mary didn't say anything, just quietly approached the long-haired woman and said, "I can see." A week later, all the valuables had been completely looted. The bearded man came up with a new idea. Since Ward 3 was all men, he suggested Wards 1 and 2 exchange women for food. At first, everyone disagreed, but after 3 days, some couldn't hold out any longer. Then, led by Mary, everyone headed to Ward 3. Late at night, the women returned. The Japanese woman had blood on her face, and some had their clothes torn to shreds. They carried the body of a woman. It turned out someone in Ward 3 was dissatisfied with her, and she was beaten to death. The women used a wet towel to wipe the blood off her body. At this moment, people from Zone 3 came to Zone 2. Today, women from Zone 2 went over to exchange food. Mary picked up a pair of scissors, walked over, approached the enjoying big tiger, and stabbed him directly in the neck. The scene immediately turned chaotic. Shrimp quickly reached for his gun, but he didn't know Mary's direction, so he fired randomly. Mary quickly rescued the other women and shouted, telling Shrimp, "If we don't eat for a day, one of your people will die. From now on, we call the shots. Until both sides engage in battle, we will start building defensive strategies." Someone said we should find out who did the killing. "Just let the women go over, and we can exchange for food without any loss." Someone said we should kill them, and then we can distribute the food. This received everyone's support. While they were discussing countermeasures, a woman quietly slipped out, avoiding the guards at the entrance of Zone 3. Then, she used a lighter to set the debris in Zone 3 on fire. Zone 3 instantly went up in flames. In the panic, Shrimp fired randomly, but only hit his own people. Mary quickly gathered everyone in the square. She called out loudly for the guards, but got no response. It turned out the guards had already withdrawn, and the main gate wasn't locked. The group split into small teams and walked onto the main street. By this time, the city was already abandoned, and the streets were in chaos. Mary settled a few people in a room and, with her husband, went to find food. On the way, they saw a group of children scrambling for food. Mary did not stop them. They arrived at a supermarket where the shelves were already emptied. Mary went to the basement, which was filled with various foods, and they ate to their fill. Afterwards, she packed 2 large bags full of food. The aroma quickly attracted everyone. Everyone rushed over, frantically grabbing. Finally, with her husband's help, they managed to escape from the supermarket. At this moment, it suddenly started to rain heavily. People came out with containers to catch the rainwater to drink. Some even took off their clothes to bathe. After all, no one could see them. Everyone enjoyed the long-awaited rain together. The next day, everyone gathered at Mary's house. First, they enjoyed a comfortable hot shower. Then everyone sat around the bonfire chatting. Mary prepared a sumptuous dinner for them, along with fine wine and drinks. Everyone raised their glasses to celebrate this happy moment. At this moment, Nichikawa suddenly realized he could see again. He was the first person to be infected. Since his vision has returned, it means it's only a matter of time for others. Everyone happily embraced each other. The movie, Blind Flow, ends here. In the face of a major disaster, people are all vulnerable. Now, all we can do is enjoy the present and live each day to the fullest. Alright, if you want to see more great movie reviews, please follow me. Bye bye.
Yeah.